What the hell? Buffy the Vampire Slayer, released in 1992, and is directed by Fran Rubel Kazooie, who, when researching this director, has directed a movie called Tokyo Pop. Yep. And this film is starring Kristy Swanson, Donald Sutherland, Pee-wee, Rutger Hauer, and Luke Perry. Buffy Summers is a high school cheerleader who only wants to just go shopping at the mall. But then one day this creepy guy in a weird top hat and trench coat approaches her and says, "Hey, you're the chosen one and you can kill vampires now." So now Buffy's new mission in life is to just kill these vampires before they kill everyone else. Like, really? I never knew where the Valley Girl-esque accent style began. Was it with this movie? Maybe it started in the 80s, but my god, listening to these people talk in this film, I wanted to rip my ears off. So I know Buffy the Vampire Slayer from the late 90s, early 2000s TV series that was created by Joss Whedon, and I actually really enjoyed that series. I didn't watch it when it was coming out, it actually being released on TV. I actually caught it many, many years later on Netflix. I think I only watched up to season 3, maybe started season 4. I didn't finish it, but I remember really enjoying the TV series. Sarah Michelle Gellar, I think, is a really great Buffy the Vampire Slayer. But I didn't know that there was a movie version of Buffy the Vampire Slayer much earlier than the TV series. I didn't realize that until years ago when typing in Buffy the Vampire Slayer, all of a sudden the movie pops up. I'm like, what? What is this? Kristy Swanson is Buffy the Vampire Slayer? Okay. I don't know who that is. She is definitely an attractive woman, but watching this movie for the first time after watching the TV series, I'm thinking, how the hell did this property ever get released? So how to describe this movie to those that haven't watched it? So the best way I can is to go onto the Wikipedia page and go down to the critical reception tab. The very first line on there reads, "Alexander Walker of the Evening Standard wrote that to enjoy this moronic rubbish, you'd need to put your IQ into total unconsciousness." That is perfectly said. What the hell is happening? So the legend of the Slayer who can kill vampires has this birthmark on them. And it goes on from generation to generation to generation. And here we are in the 1990s, and now Buffy is our Slayer. She has this mole on her chest that apparently she had removed, but she's still the Slayer. And God, this movie. Donald Sutherland just shows up randomly in a gymnasium where Buffy is practicing her cheers, because you know that's important. He's just this old guy with a goatee and a trench coat and a fedora, and it definitely, in nowadays standards, is very, very creepy. I don't know what they were not seeing when they were creating this movie. Hey, who's this old guy that's just watching this girl do her cheers in this gymnasium? That's socially acceptable, right? It's 1992. What's socially acceptable? That is the question of this movie, because there are lines that are said that if you said them today, you'd be locked up. You'd be put into a padded room, because no one should be talking like this, let alone no one should be talking to women like this. I wrote down the lines in this movie that my jaw just dropped. I'm shocked that these were actually written down on a piece of paper and said, "Hey, here's the script. Read those lines as written. Let us begin." That jacket is so 5 minutes ago. What do you guys want to do? Do you want to go see a movie? Let's go to this place. No, they don't even have Dolby. Dude, I don't want to sound sexist, but could I borrow her? Guys, we should make posters for the spring formal that say, "Don't tread on me." You know, to like protect the earth and stuff. It doesn't make any sense. How can you not tread on the earth? There is one line and one joke in here that I actually really like, and I'll give it credit for. Buffy comes home after a night of slaying, and her mother comes in and says, "Do you have any idea what time it is?" going with the stereotypical, what are you doing out? You're a kid, you're a teenager, you have a curfew. And she goes, I think it's like 10 o'clock. And the mom says, I knew it. I knew this watch was slow. Honey, we're going to be late for dinner. I thought that was a really clever line. The only clever line. Let's continue. Hey, they're having a memorial service in the courtyard. Want to go? No, today's Wednesday. I gotta work on my abs. This guy, in response to someone putting their hand on Buffy's shoulder. Hey, keep your hand off my thing. I'll pop you one. Okay, let's keep going. Oh, this is priceless. I loved this line. There is a vampire playing basketball and is starting to like bite people and scare people. And Buffy sees this in the stands and she goes to run after him and they're running on the court. And instead of someone saying, hey, what's that? That guy looks weird. He's probably a vampire. This is what one guy decides to say. Hey, there's a girl on the court. There's a vampire on the court in basketball teams. But the one thing that is just shocking and appalling is, hey, there's a girl out there. Oh, and then the most shocking one out of all of this was at the end, and the spring formal, it's all crashed because of course the vampires come out and they ruin everything. The principal, who is played by Milton, I think is his name, the guy from Office Space that has the stapler. He wants his stapler. He plays the principal, and he's just throwing out detention slips, detention for all of these people that are unconscious on the dance room floor, probably dead. Detention, detention, detention. Hilary Swank's character, yes, Academy Award-winning actress Hilary Swank is here, and Buffy comes into the gymnasium, and Hilary Swank is all scared and starts freaking out. Milton, the principal, walks up to her, looks at her, smacks her head against the wall. She is knocked out cold, and he just continues on passing out detentions.
No! No, don't let her hit the villain! Please keep her out now!
The principal of this school lays his hands on a student, knocks him out, lays her hand on a female student, knocks her out. And that apparently is socially acceptable to put into this script and put into this movie. I thought this movie was so terrible. But I'm almost starting to think this movie is so terrible, it is awesome. I haven't laughed like this in quite some time. All I can say is that this property of Buffy the Vampire Slayer was definitely much better handled in the late 1990s with Joss Whedon and that darker TV show episodic take, as opposed to this movie. I can't even imagine where they would have gone from here if they would have made a sequel. Hopefully they didn't make a sequel. I didn't research that far, but my God. Don't go into this movie with any intelligence or thinking at all if you're going to enjoy yourself. Just enjoy the amount of just absentness and the amount of just airheaded dialogue and airheaded characters that appear here. It is cool to see Luke Perry as a younger kid. This is back when he was in Beverly Hills 90210, and I know that he passed away a couple of years ago. It's cool to see him again. I definitely know where the aesthetic of Spike from the TV series come from, because my God, the guy who plays Spike in the TV series, I forget his name, just totally ripped off his wardrobe from this movie. Words just cannot describe the feeling that I had of this movie. It's so hard to pick them out. There were so many times just listening to this that my hands just went up and just held my head in shock and awe. Someone wrote this down. Someone approved it. Someone gave it to an actor and said, hey, read this as written. And this actor said, okay, maybe this movie doesn't need to be watched. So we know, like future filmmakers what not to do. I don't think I've given this score out in some time, but I think I need to, because even though this film is terrible, the dialogue is terrible, the visual effects is terrible, the weird dying scene with Pee Wee Herman out of nowhere just kind of is like a parody death scene, that was terrible. But through the god-awfulness, I was laughing. A lot. In a film that just gets that laughter and that joy out of me, it has to go to this score. A score that is only given out to films like The Room or Bitch Slap. I'm gonna give Buffy the Vampire Slayer 5 out of 5 mammograms.
I got the results of the test back. I definitely have breast cancer.
Tell me, do you bleed?
Alright everyone, now comes my favorite part of my videos where I pick which movie I'm going to be watching next, and the next one comes as a recommendation from one of my subscribers, one of my fans, someone who is very, very close to me, who is actually my wife, Tammy Snyder-Knudsen. She recommended Donnie Darko. It's my 250th movie review, so I was thinking, what can I do? What do I have that I can, put on such a nice, round, even, odd number? She recommended this one a while ago, and I've only seen it once, and I think she actually introduced it to me, so I'm definitely happy to check it out again. Jake Gyllenhaal, Maggie Gyllenhaal, I think, is here. I remember not really getting or understanding it at all when I saw it the first time. I didn't hate it at all. I thought it was actually going to be much scarier. I thought it was a horror movie at first, but no, this is like a psychological thriller. It's probably aged well, and I'm probably going to like it a lot more now that I've watched it before, and now that my film watching experience has definitely grown over the years. So we'll check that one out next time. Thank you very much, Lindsay Montgomery, for the recommendation of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. It was an absolute delight. If any of you have recommendations of films that you want me to review on here so I can get them out this summer, then leave a recommendation below this video. Go to my Facebook page, my Instagram, or my Twitter and leave your recommendation there. If I have access to it, I will watch, review it, and give you a shout on the channel. So guys, have you seen Buffy the Vampire Slayer? What did you think about it? I don't know if you'd watch it after my review here. Maybe you would, just because it's freaking hilarious, but whatever you thought, comment below, let me know what you thought about it. And if you like what you saw here, if you like my take on movies, then hit the subscribe button, and also make sure you hit that bell so you know the next time I release my next movie review. So guys, I will see you next time with my review of Donnie Darko. So in the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys.